Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ray Guitar channel, and today, guys, we have to talk about one of my favorite creators here on the internet, Steven Crowder. You know how there's been all of this random, fucking divorce drama he's been going through. Remember back whenever I talked about this Ring camera footage that came out about Steven yelling at his poor, innocent wife?
How do you respect a man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man receive love like that? Respect. No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you are not.
Then I will ask someone to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Steven,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven.
And this is the only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, there's more people attacking him, and hey, I'm along for the ride. I really don't care if he's an innocent man at the end of the day. Why? Well, because he's a closeted homosexual, of course.
You have to make hard decisions, and sometimes you think you have to make hard decisions, and it's just wrong. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid, frankly, that he used to have a bad temper. I'm afraid of it coming back. I'm afraid of Mr. Hyde rearing his ugly bisexual head. That was a short phase. No, I'm afraid.
Not gay Jared's a surprisingly good kisser.
I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take. The people run in circles. It's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
That was a short phase.
We all know how I feel about them, now don't we? Okay, well, guys, what has happened? What kind of updates have come out? Well, recently, ladies and gentlemen, a man by the name of Jared Monroe, you might remember him from being on Crowder's show a long time ago, known as Not Gay Jared. He was but another person to talk about how homosexual behind the scenes Steven has been. For instance, he talked about the time where Steven put his pee-pee on his shoulder while he was asleep at the studio.
This place was and is to this day a workplace rife with sexual misconduct, degeneracy, and aggression. The things I saw, the things done to me, and the things I witnessed my employer do to others were disgusting, shocking, and utterly indefensible.
And if one thing I've learned from falling asleep around a bunch of my friends is to never do that, because you never know what the fuck's gonna happen. I will divulge this secret. Whenever I was a young lad, I went over to my friends for a birthday party, and unfortunately, I fell asleep first. Well, the next day I had soccer practice, alright? So you have to be in shorts for that. And they drew a shitload of dicks on my fucking leg with Sharpie. I woke up to them literally drawing a massive cock on my fucking leg. And I was like, okay, alright, come on guys, what the fuck? I went into their bathroom and I started cleaning that shit off. And I stained their white tile on their fucking bathroom, so that's what they get. Nonetheless, Gerald continues on to talk about how he was forced to sign an NDA, and they started, coming at him with legal filings and all of this scary mumbo-jumbo from fucking lawyers and shit.
In late October of 2023, to my surprise, I was served these papers. A cease and desist from my former employer. It threatened severe legal action in the form of a lawsuit and demanded I cease communications with my friends. The scare tactics of cease and desist are generally to intimidate, isolate, and eventually devastate. Like most cease and desist, it also demanded that I swiftly provide them written certificate of my compliance. I did not. In the same delivery, I was also served these papers. A Rule 202 petition from my former employer. You can look that up on the internet. I know I had to. These documents were filed with the county court of my former place of employment, demanding that I be subject to an oral deposition under oath for an unlimited amount of time, where they were free to interrogate me on pretty much any private matter that they chose. Also, in this petition for discovery, they demanded that I turn over documents of all communications with more than a dozen of my friends, an unlimited amount of unnamed persons in any form and over an unlimited period of time. I received the latest article of legal harassment on Friday, March 22nd, 2024. After a month now of litigation exhausting even the court with relentless amendments to their Rule 202 petition, my ex-employer was finally awarded their request for my oral deposition and any document of communication with my friends that they believe may provide any avenue to sue me or others. As it stands, they await my forced cooperation. I will not. I will continue to fight. Now, here's the big question, is what was their entire reason for this harassment and the basis for their claims? These documents. An NDA. I signed this separation agreement, an NDA containing a strict and very broad non-disparagement clause many years ago. My former employer and his attorney argued I could not work in media anywhere in the world, and most certainly not in the United States, for 2 years. This is not because I had voluntarily signed some sort of non-compete in my original employment agreement. It was because they decided a non-solicitation clause that was in said original agreement would retroactively be interpreted as the broadest and strictest non-compete one could draft. They told me on my Twitter account, another potential lifeline to future work, which I had owned and been the sole manager of since 2009, was to be turned over to them on the argument that it was somehow their intellectual property now. Presumably to keep me from working even further, my former employer even tried to claim my personal production equipment, gear I had owned for years prior to working there, as company property. After producing every receipt to validate my ownership, a vicious lie that I stole from the company was born and disseminated by my employer. by the way, breaking their side of this bogus mutual non-disparagement agreement. I have those receipts as well. All I simply wanted to do was peacefully leave. It was clear by my employer, though, that this was not only unacceptable, but that I needed to be punished for doing so. The primary reason I signed the NDA was for a small carve-out in the non-compete clause, which allowed me to freely seek employment using some of my skill sets at another specific company. At least I could feed my family. That provision, however, was a lie. And upon starting my new job at the new said company, I was giving another one of these, a cease and desist, and was promptly unlawfully terminated from that position.
And then he plugs this GoFundMe where he's asking for donations for a lawsuit against them, or the lawsuit that they might be filing against him, or whatever the fuck.
I'm asking for donations for 2 reasons. Number one, obviously to help with the financial burden I've already accrued with this legal matter right here. That's taken care of. That matter is priority number one as I'm going further and further into debt with each passing day. The second reason I'm asking for financial assistance is to proactively address my unconstitutional anti-free speech NDA, which is the basis for all of their claims against me. The simplest resolution here would be for my ex-employer to release me from the NDA. Give me and my fellow ex-employees the same free speech they publicly champion for every other American. But I can almost guarantee you that will not happen. I've already witnessed them spend unfathomable amounts of money in other cases to protect their double life and secrets. No more darkness.
That was a short phase.
That's why, beyond the current burden I face from my ex-employer's legal abuse, I will be using these donations to fight back and file a counter motion, placing my unconstitutional NDA before a judge to have it dissolved in its entirety. Accept donations. I've set up a GoFundMe, and to make it easy, you can go to freejaredmonroe.com.
My honest opinion, kind of fishy, I'm not gonna lie. Oh guys, I was raped. Give me money, please. This is crazy. I'm sorry, not gay Jared, buddy. You sound a little kooky, alright? Maybe they're just all gay. Maybe that's what we're coming to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a conservative, you like penis. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, if you'll remember a while ago, whenever the fucking Ring camera footage was coming out, at the time, Owen Benjamin started making fun of Steven Crowder a shitload during that, claiming that, yeah, you know, he always made me dress in drag and, like, do gay stuff, and I didn't like it. But Owen also commented on this whole, like, Jared fucking free Jared, hashtag free Jared shit. But he said that he legally banned Jared from doing comedy and isn't actually married. But by all means, keep buying his Jesus t-shirts and praying for Ben Shapiro. I don't know, this guy's a fucking lunatic. I gotta be honest, he's a little kooky, but kooky is interesting. I'm not saying that I don't like kooky. But yeah, I mean, even, like, Dave Landau came out against Steven Crowder after he left, saying, like, yeah, it just basically complaining, yeah, he made us do a lot of weird sketches. He had a button that would silence me.
Do you want to talk a bit about, like, you know, what led up to this decision on your part?
Yeah, I guess the beginning of it was everything was going pretty well at the beginning of the show when
When did you join that show? Let's talk about that.
Okay, I joined the show I was first offered February 2001.
Okay, 2001?
No, 2021.
Okay,
I forget. I'm like,
it was right. We needed to make America laugh because they knew something was on the horizon.
Yes, I joined in my 5th year of high school, which is a fact. Yes, I joined shortly before 9/11.
Yes.
Yeah, I joined in February 2021 when Anthony, I thought, was going to be moving to South Carolina.
Yeah.
So Steven had made an offer to come work for him, and I had been guesting on the show fairly regularly, so I
Yep.
took him up on that offer.
Okay. How did you find it? Let's talk about that. You want to talk about the end? You want to talk about the beginning? How do you want to talk about this situation?
The beginning was great for a while, you know, it really was. It was a lot of hanging out, collaborating, putting out sketches, doing the things that I was hired for. It's definitely a grind, but that was part of it. The pot was sweetened, so to speak, is what I was offered. It was not this gigantic payday that everybody seemed to think. It was almost no bump, but
You
it
didn't get
was.
$50 million.
No, I didn't get. I got about a grand extra a year, but you know, it's hard to talk about money, but it was. But I knew that it would help on the road, and you know, he wanted me to be there on more Fridays, and that started being a point of tension because I started making money on the road, and I did say I would be there on more Fridays, but every time I would show up, he wouldn't show up,
Okay.
and I just said, all right, well, I'm just going to work or go and see my son. And, you know, he's in Detroit. And I said, as long as everything was working out, there was a possibility that they could move there.
Yeah. They meaning your family.
Yes. So about a year went by and things had gotten more tense. Like things were more restrictive. For example, I had been more censored as things went on where I couldn't, for example, say the word come.
Okay.
Like ejaculate. I
Right.
forgot when I made the joke that was offensive or whatever it was
You
about.
could only eat it. You couldn't say it's going to go in your mouth, not come out of your mouth.
I could eat it with a spoon, or I could say yummy yum yums when referring to it, but I could never actually say.
I could eat it with a fork. I could eat it on a ship. I can't finish the rhyme, but you get me.
I could refer to. I could go, those are nice gutters you have, but I couldn't say that I had the gutters.
They're vascular. I'm
Yeah.
very pleased with them these days.
Yeah. You know, it became a little weird because a light was put in where it was his rant button. And it was basically a Dave don't talk button.
Wait, so there's literally a light bulb? What color was the light bulb?
There was 4 lights in a row.
There were
and when
3 lights.
I'm serious. And when it was hit, I wasn't supposed to talk. And they
Do you
said,
remember,
you know,
was it like a regular colored light bulb or was it like red?
it was like a yellow, a
Okay.
pretty bright yellow, like you know, like yield.
So it's like off camera, but in your eyesight.
Yes. And
would he be the one pressing the button or was there a producer pressing the button?
He would press it.
So like Mr. Burns, like he had a button under his desk or the table, and when it's Steven's turn to talk and Dave needs to shut the F up, he presses this button.
Yes.
How do I get this to happen? Because frankly, we're 13 minutes in and you're already on my last nerve. This is with Michael Malice.
Aren't you hitting it now? Oh, that's just Zoom doing it. Yeah, he had that. Well, and then I was told that he's like, well, that was always there, and I'm like, no, I would have noticed the light and been told about it. I was pissed a bit because I know my job. I
Right.
know that he talks a lot. I know that he's the star of the show. I know when to throw him what he needs to be thrown. I know when to sit back. It's what I did with Anthony for years. It's what I did next to Artie. It's what it's what I do. I'm not trying to ever steamroll him.
Right.
It was just, hey, don't be funnier. Don't be, and that's the truth. I mean, it sounds bitter, but I knew it was true because I was pulled aside and I said, and it was, hey, make sure if you're doing a rant or like you guys are riffing, he gets the last word.
You were told this explicitly?
Yes. I've heard it in radio a couple times. Very
Really?
rarely.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have heard of it where it's just the star needs to look like the star. So
Okay.
I guess, you know, it's his show, fine. But I also feel like somebody who's so pro free speech and non-censorship, he was really about censorship. So I had decided I was going to buy the equipment and film the special in Dallas. And we were selling out this theater. And he decided he wanted to get back into stand-up, which he had done when he was younger.
Okay.
And he had just been a host since then. So he said, hey, can I jump on and open it and I'll help promote it? And you can help me maybe write some of my stuff, get me back into it, and I'll help promote it. And I said, sure, of course. So we ended up selling out 2 shows, obviously, instead of just 1, because he was helping promote it, and he's a draw. So we went there, and Matt McClowery was the opener, and he went up and got a standing ovation after Steven, and Steven kind of saw we were friends, and after that, I pulled Steven aside, and Steven couldn't do the Monday show, and I said, could Matt come in and co-host with me? He said, yeah. And Monday or Sunday had rolled around, and I get a call from the showrunner that said Matt's not allowed to do the show.
How did they tell you? Like literally what they say?
Via text, it was just Matt's not allowed. Matt can. It's been like decided, something like that. Matt, I can find the text,
but the word is allowed. It's not like we don't have time or won't fit the schedule. The word was allowed.
Matt's
or
not allowed
permitted
to
or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, to do the show on Monday.
Was there any explanation at all?
No.
Okay.
So I said, that's odd. I already asked Steven, and he said it was okay.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, that's weird. I must have gotten mixed messages. So I just texted Steven and said, hey, I just talked to the showrunner. I just want to make sure it's still cool that Matt comes in. And he texted me something back along the lines of, what's done is done. I said, what does that mean? It's your show, which is ironic. That's what he said. And my phone rings, and I don't want to go greatly into the conversation between us, but it was. He's like, "Do you still want to be on Louder with Crowder?" And I said, "Not at the moment." And he starts going off on me, and now there's a ton of people in my apartment who can hear it.
Wait, he's literally raising his voice?
He's screaming at me.
Okay, so literally raising his voice, not just being stern, like to the point where it's audible.
It's audible, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's started stern, but then it got into telling me that he owns me, and
in those words.
Yeah.
Which wasn't very cool. And hey, if you don't like how he runs his show, that's one thing. Just move on, find another show, do your own thing. But it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that there was some gay stuff going on. Oh my goodness, do we have the smoking gun, ladies and gentlemen? Gerald A., one of the fucking co-hosts of Steven Crowder's Daily Show. He decided to respond to all of this because he's got the hots for his buddy, I guess. Gerald quite literally admits that we were sending cease and desists. We were sending petitions for Jared Monroe to stop talking about us and doing all this shit, and then says, well, it's because he legally signed a contract. That's why we sent him those cease and desists.
On October 27th, 2023, we filed our original Rule 202 petition that Jared mentioned. Rule 202 petition is basically saying, hey, we're serious. Please knock it off and tell us how far this went. On October 30th, we sent a cease and desist. At that time, October 30th, 2023, all Jared had to do was respond in writing saying that he was going to knock off what he was doing. He was going to stop violating his agreement that he voluntarily entered into. He chose not to. Legal fees associated with writing us a letter would have been minimal, if any at all. And I have the receipts as to why we sent this to him in the first place, after around 6 years of no communication in this way. December 14th, we had one amendment to our Rule 202 petition, not quite the exhausting of the court as Jared made it seem, that we were trying to bully him with the law. March 15th, that 202 expired. March 26th, Jared releases his video.
Okay, understandable, I guess, but also, hey, you fucking suck, alright? You're gay, okay? You like Steven Crowder's penis. But he shows some text that could be construed as Hillary, as Steven Crowder's ex-wife, basically planning and plotting to destroy Steven Crowder in order to extort him for more money and more time with the kids.
February 17th of 2023, and just leave that overlay up for me, Hillary and Jared met in Atlanta to discuss their strategy, and they took this picture. How he changed my mind. I guess a proposed book that Hillary would like to write to apply more pressure to Stephen. February 20th, per Jared's text messages, any scenario where Hillary and I team up is the end of him, meaning Stephen. It is his worst nightmare. Watch the real fear enter his eye when Tim asks the question. All been going on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, this isn't a fun day, but it's a day that has to happen where people need to know what's really going on. February 21st, 2023, Jared says this to Hillary. I think there's a scenario where several of us would be willing to attest to all of that. I just don't want him anywhere near those kids. That really, really disturbs me. Why do this? This was done specifically in order to get more than Hillary would get in court, or that Stephen even offered her, because his offers have been more generous than Hillary would ever get in court per Hillary. Per Hillary's father to Hillary and other family members in a group text. The longer the divorce proceedings go on, the worse the outcome for SC, Stephen Crowder. Developing damaging OK PR assets should be pursued. That deliverable is up to us, not the legal team. I wonder why. And at the right time, Mark Scroggins, the first of three attorneys, will show SC the path to make it all go away.
Or it could just be a normal wife talking about her divorce situation and just looking for guidance from her loved ones because it's a stressful and unfortunate event that she has to go through. But maybe there's more to it, who knows. But then Gerald shows more texts that say that she was doing it to get more freedom with the kids, but how he kind of explains it, he's like, yeah, this is proof that she was trying to get more money. You know, you see, her lawyers told her that, yeah, this is a good deal. You're going to get a lot of money for this. But she just ended up talking about how she wants more freedom with the kids and doesn't want to be so restricted with her time with her children.
From a text exchange between Hillary and her mother. Again, all public information, guys. This is a part of court filings. Not us pulling anything. Not us opining. The financial offer was serious, and the business valuator and both of my attorneys agreed the financial offer was good. And while that's better than I would get in court, I want more freedom than that, referring to, as well, custody of the children. Remember that. The financial offer was serious, and the business valuator and both of my attorneys agreed the financial offer was good. Offer was rejected.
So again, you can either, I guess, look at it as, yeah, she's trying to get money, trying to extort him, or you can look at it as, yeah, she's trying to get more time with her kids, or even, I don't know, a 50-50 kind of split, where it's like every other week kind of thing, where you get more freedom to your schedule and all that. I don't know. Maybe that's just another thing to show you that he likes penis. Or maybe I'm just a crazy man on the internet. That is also probably very true. Gerald claims that she deleted thousands of hours of Ring camera footage.
Here's what you know. Ring footage that was sent out that tried to portray Stephen in a very negative light, having an argument with his wife. Stephen admitted he's not a perfect guy. There are definitely faults. Arguments happen. People always say stuff that they wish they could either take back or was taken out of context in arguments. But here's what you don't know. Hillary deleted all of the other footage from that house on the Ring cameras and the Lake residence when a court expressly barred her from doing so. How many hours? Over 2,000 hours. Also, 8,000 hours never even handed over, along with 18 seconds from the doctored video itself. A note, Substack video had small portions that were not even included in the court-issued videos, which means that it came from some other source. You can do the math. This was all a part of the plan that we talked about. To assemble negative PR assets to wage a PR campaign against Stephen, to get him to give more, never enough, more.
You know, I'm trying hard to attack Stephen Crowder because it's funny. I'm going to use everything in my arsenal to make him look bad. Okay, that's what I want to do. I will say if the claim about deleted footage is true, then that's a difficult one to defend. I will say that. Then Gerald claimed that she hired a fraud lawyer to represent her in the divorce, and said that, yeah, in the past, he submitted fake screenshots. And it's still kind of debatable whether he knew they were fake or not.
Here's something else you don't know. Hillary hired entertainment superstar lawyer Brian Friedman as part of her PR attack against Stephen. I don't know if you guys remember who Brian Friedman is, but he represented Trevor Bauer's false accuser, releasing images that were doctored. What he knew at the time, what he didn't know, still up for a little bit of debate, but it looks like there was some reason to believe maybe this claim wasn't 100% on the up and up. Trevor's been exonerated. It's been proven that this person lied about all of this. Maybe she even lied to Friedman. Who knows? But Friedman was all too willing to rush out and ruin a man's career that I believe had just signed a $100 million contract to play baseball and subsequently lost that contract. Still trying to get back into the major leagues, even though he's a well-accomplished pitcher. Should be on a roster somewhere. Doesn't matter.
So you can do with that what you will. I mean, obviously, they're going to play into their fucking conspiracy-brained audience and just say, yeah, this is proof that she's setting Stephen up. For normal people, you'll just think, okay, well, she hired a good lawyer that has worked in media before. And obviously, you're gonna hire a lawyer that has worked in media to represent you during a divorce with a huge media fucking star. Obviously, you're gonna hire someone who's worked in the field before. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have definitive proof that this man is a homosexual. And I know you won't like it. I'm sorry. All of the conservacucks, you gotta sit back and take this one on the jaw, on the chin, because it's pretty bad. I'm sorry you gay. Gerald ends up saying in his response video that, yeah, even Jared, not gay Jared, the man who claims he's not gay, would be in media meetings, and he would be behind all of these, like, media bigwigs, and he would just whip out his penis, and he would show it to Stephen. And the entire time, Stephen had to keep a straight face in this meeting, alright, with a bunch of business executives. He would have to keep his face perfectly straight.
Why are we still here?
Because he was looking at a penis.
One of the claims was that Stephen had revealed his genitalia to people in the office. We talked about that. We addressed all of that.
Here's what they didn't see our Terminator 2
Terminator 2 sketch,
yeah.
Or when you have to wear, like really thin garments so that you can be painted gold.
Yeah.
Right? For some of the sketches that we've done. Here's what you don't know. Jared exposed his penis in professional settings to Stephen. When they were at Wham Radio, he would expose himself in a way that only Stephen could see. And then for an hour, Stephen would have to sit there talking to people at the radio station about the business dealings of the show and not break. And to them, it was funny then and funny now. We're not calling him out for it. We're just saying it seems a bit odd that he was somebody who participated, maybe even started doing it, and then apparently cried foul about it.
So this just proves that all of these guys like dick and just like pulling their penis out in front of other men. Do with that what you will, okay? Even the people who are claiming that, oh, this was so horrible, this was so awful, that people were showing their penis around the office, even liked to pull his dick out. I mean, that's just fucking retarded, dude. Anyway you cut this, everyone's gay. At the end of the day, right wing means you're a homo. Sorry. This is proof, ladies and gentlemen. This is proof. Also, left wing means you're gay because you're constantly fucking, I don't know, talking about gay people and like, oh, gay people should be allowed to be gay. And you're openly advocating for gays, okay? So there's no room for straights anymore. There is no room for people who just like heterosexual sex. Everywhere is just run rampant with homos. That's what I'm taking from this. This is the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got back from the gym. Sorry that I'm in different clothes. Fuck you and your fucking continuity errors. Suck my dick. I just wanted to take this moment to point out, in the bio, baby, in the fucking bio, baby, we are all Ray Guitard. It's almost like I fucking predicted it. Oh my god, total gay retard victory. This is totally epic. We are so winning. We are back, baby. I was right all along. If you didn't know by now, ladies and gentlemen, you're a fucking stupid idiot, okay? Just like I am, just like all of these fucking people are. We all suck, alright? At the end of the day, gays have a place, but you don't. What do you think about that? I think that kind of sucks. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to believe who you want to believe in this situation, just like anything on the internet, but I gotta take it so serious. I gotta be objective. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Gay Retard out.